A 79-year-old grandmother spilled coffee and became a national joke. But what McDonald's hid from the public would have changed everything. She didn't want millions. She wanted them to pay her medical bills. They refused. 1992. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Stella Liebeck ordered coffee from a McDonald's drive-thru. Her grandson pulled over so she could add cream and sugar. The car was parked. She wasn't driving. When the cup collapsed, 180-degree coffee soaked through her sweatpants and fused to her skin. She spent 8 days in the hospital. She underwent skin grafts. Her medical bills reached $20,000. All she asked McDonald's for was help covering those costs. Their offer: $800. But here's what the jury would later discover. McDonald's had received over 700 complaints about severe burns from their coffee. And they had done absolutely nothing. The moment this case went to trial, something shifted. McDonald's quality assurance manager took the stand. And what he said under oath would seal their fate. He admitted McDonald's required franchises to serve coffee between 180 and 190 degrees. For comparison, your home coffee maker brews at around 135 degrees. At 180 degrees, liquid causes full-thickness burns in 2 to 7 seconds. But the testimony got worse. When asked about the 700 previous burn complaints, the McDonald's representative called them statistically insignificant compared to the billions of cups sold. Think about that for a second. 700 people suffered burns severe enough to file complaints. And McDonald's calculated that wasn't enough people to matter. Now let me put this in perspective. This wasn't a minor mishap. The photographs shown to the jury depicted burns covering 16% of Stella Liebeck's body. Her inner thighs. Her groin. Areas where skin is most sensitive. The images were so graphic that jurors visibly reacted. One later said he felt sick. But McDonald's defense team argued she was responsible. She should have removed her clothing faster. She shouldn't have held the cup between her legs. Yet they never explained why their coffee needed to be hot enough to cause permanent disfigurement in the first place. Their own documents revealed the answer. Hotter coffee stays fresh longer during the breakfast rush. Customer safety was weighed against operational efficiency. Efficiency won. That calculation would cost them. August 18, 1994. The jury delivered their verdict. They found McDonald's had engaged in willful, reckless, and malicious conduct. They awarded Stella Liebeck $200,000 in compensatory damages. Then came the punitive damages. $2.7 million. But here's what everyone missed in the headlines. The jury specifically calculated that figure to equal 2 days of McDonald's coffee sales revenue. Just 2 days. Their message was clear. If you want corporations to change dangerous behavior, the punishment must hurt. McDonald's made that much money from coffee every 48 hours. The jury believed they should feel it. But the story was already being rewritten before the ink dried on the verdict. And this is where it gets truly disturbing. But that's not even the real scandal. What almost nobody knows is what happened after the cameras left. The judge reduced the punitive damages to $480,000. He called the original amount excessive. Then McDonald's appealed. During those appeals, Stella Liebeck settled for an undisclosed amount. Court documents suggest it was less than $600,000 total. A 79-year-old woman with permanent injuries, disfigurement requiring multiple surgeries, and years of suffering. She likely received less than $600,000. Meanwhile, business groups seized on this case. They funded a nationwide campaign for tort reform. They created organizations dedicated to mocking frivolous lawsuits. They never mentioned the photographs. They never mentioned the 700 complaints. They turned a victim into a punchline to protect corporate profits. The ripple effects of this case transformed American law. States began implementing punitive damages caps. Some limited awards to 3 times compensatory damages. Others capped them at specific dollar amounts regardless of corporate wealth. Think about what this means. A multi-billion-dollar company and a small business now face the same maximum penalty for identical misconduct. That's not justice. That's a calculation that harming people might be worth it. And here's where I need you to understand something crucial. Stella Liebeck never wanted to become famous. She never wanted a lawsuit. She wanted her medical bills paid by the company whose product disfigured her. McDonald's could have settled for $20,000. Instead, their legal strategy created the template corporations still use today. Deny. Delay. Deflect. Demonize. Stella Liebeck passed away in 2004. She was 91 years old. She spent her final years watching herself become the face of frivolous lawsuits in America. She watched comedians mock her suffering. She watched politicians use her name to push corporate-friendly legislation. She never got to tell her side of the story to the millions who laughed. And McDonald's? They quietly lowered their coffee temperature after the verdict. No press release. No admission. Just a subtle change that acknowledged everything the jury found. The coffee that burned Stella Liebeck doesn't exist anymore. Because McDonald's knew it was dangerous all along. They just decided 700 burn victims weren't enough to justify changing their breakfast rush procedures. So what does this case really teach us? Corporations discovered that controlling the narrative matters more than the verdict. Stella Liebeck won her case. The evidence proved McDonald's was negligent. The jury saw the burns and unanimously agreed. And yet she lost in the court of public opinion. The $2.9 million headline buried the 700 complaints. The punchline erased the skin grafts. The tort reform movement protected the companies that hurt people. This case isn't about coffee. It's about how powerful interests can make you laugh at victims while they rewrite the rules. Every time you hear about a ridiculous lawsuit, ask yourself who benefits from you believing that story.